Let's talk about Baton Rouge. Right now, the city is in the middle of a historic billion-dollar investment in its infrastructure. But you know what? This isn't just about roads and bridges. It's a massive opportunity to build real, lasting wealth for the city's small businesses. So in this explainer, we're going to lay out the blueprint for how to make that happen.
Okay, so here's our game plan. We'll start with this once-in-a-generation opportunity that's right in front of the city. Then, we're going to look at a hidden barrier that's been holding small businesses back. After that, we'll dive into the solution, how it actually works, and finally, we'll talk about the powerful economic flywheel effect this can create for the entire community.
All right, first up, let's really get a handle on the scale of this opportunity. And I mean, this isn't just about paving roads. It's about paving a whole new path for the local economy. And look, the responsibility here is just enormous. We're talking about thousands of miles of infrastructure that are basically the economic heartbeat of the whole region. So getting these projects right is absolutely critical, not just for the roads themselves, but for the financial health of every single community they touch. Now, this vision lines up perfectly with Mayor Sid Edwards' commitment to strengthening local businesses and building up our future workforce. As the mayor has made clear, the real goal isn't just about pouring concrete, it's about creating community wealth that lasts. But here's the thing, even with the best intentions, even with the doors wide open, there's a hidden barrier that stops small businesses from really jumping on these opportunities. It turns out, just having access, well, it's not the whole story. And the city has a very clear goal, which is fantastic. They want 20% of all this work to go to small, minority, women, and veteran-owned businesses. The commitment to inclusion is right there, it's official, and it's public. And that brings us to the million-dollar question, doesn't it? If the city's opened the door, why can't more local businesses walk through it and actually grow? Why does winning a huge contract sometimes feel less like a victory and more like a trap? And this visualizes the core problem perfectly. It's what we call the 90-day trap. So picture this, a small business wins a contract. They immediately have to pay for all their labor, their materials, but then they have to wait 60, sometimes 90 days to get paid. That huge gap just starves them of cash, making it almost impossible to take on the next job. And you know, this friction is felt on both sides of the deal. For the city, the paperwork and administrative burden of qualifying and managing hundreds of small vendors is just immense. And for the small businesses, that 90-day wait for cash creates a gap that makes getting a traditional bank loan impossible. It just stalls their growth before it even gets started. So, if the problem is slow cash, then the solution has to be about speed. It's about financial velocity. And that's exactly what a new kind of economic infrastructure is built to create. This image just nails the difference. On the left, you've got the old way, complicated, slow, and a total headache. But on the right, you have the new way, and it's powered by a platform called Southwest Pass Gateway, or SWPG. It's a shared system that cuts through all that complexity and, most importantly, shrinks that 90-day payment nightmare down to just 3 days. And this is what we mean by economic infrastructure. We're not talking about physical roads here. We're talking about a system that takes a company's approved invoice, what's called a receivable, and turns it into cold, hard cash, almost instantly. This creates the capital velocity small businesses desperately need to survive and, more importantly, to grow. So how does SWPG actually deliver on this promise? How does it turn that access into actual assets for these businesses? Let's pop the hood and break down the mechanics. It's actually a really elegant and simple process. First, a contractor does the work, the city verifies it. That's all business as usual. Second, SWPG secures that verified invoice. Basically, it guarantees the city's future payment. That guarantee allows a financial partner to release the funds to the contractor right away, usually in about 3 days. And here's the really crucial part. The city's own payment schedule doesn't change at all. Now this right here is a total game changer for the city. Instead of trying to manage hundreds of individual contracts with different vendors, the city has just one master service agreement with the SWPG marketplace. That one single agreement opens up an entire network of pre-qualified local businesses, which drastically cuts down on their administrative workload and risk. And for city leadership, this gives them something they have never had before: clean, clear, real-time data. They can see exactly where the money is going, track job creation, monitor how many veteran or minority-owned businesses are participating, and get the hard numbers they need for public reports and for federal grant applications. And this just shows you how precise that data can get. The platform literally allows the city to geo-target its spending into specific neighborhoods or zones. This makes sure that the investment is driving growth exactly where it's needed most, and it helps prioritize key groups like veteran-owned businesses. So when you combine these faster payments with this kind of transparent data, you ignite something incredibly powerful. You create a self-sustaining economic flywheel for the entire Baton Rouge community. So here's how that flywheel gets spinning. The city's spending funds the platform. Getting paid instantly attracts local businesses to do the work. Those businesses, now that they actually have cash flow, can reinvest right back into the community. They hire local people, they buy local supplies. This builds community wealth, which in turn strengthens the city. It's this powerful, closed-loop system where local dollars keep circulating and multiplying right here at home. So what's the bottom line for Baton Rouge? Well, it means more local businesses can finally take part in these major projects. It means they get paid faster, which helps them not just survive, but actually grow. And for the city, it means better economic data, a stronger local workforce, and a bigger local tax base. This system directly fast-tracks the city's most important economic goals.
Look, Baton Rouge has already done the hard work of creating access to this historic opportunity. The final question is this. Is the city ready to add the velocity it needs to turn that access into lasting assets for its entire community?